Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown here to talk about Grow Up Timmy Turner, the movie series. Since there's stuff that's happening with the Fairy Godparents movie, well, Fairy Godparents show that's becoming live action, I just gave an Agatha look. Like, great. If you watch WandaVision, you deserve a cookie. If you know what the fuck that is. But, alright, Grow Up Timmy Turner. To be honest, when I first saw the trailer and the hypeness for this movie when it was coming out, I actually was looking forward to it. Drake Bell as Timmy Turner, to be honest, not bad. To be quite honest, not bad casting choice in my opinion. Could you get a younger star and everything like that? Maybe a newcomer or someone that's not fresh or no one doesn't know. Yes, but the fact that you got Drake Bell makes me think that now, if you ever done a Jimmy Neutron live action movie, Josh will be Jimmy Neutron. And you know what? In a parody, not real, but in a parody, I wouldn't mind it. I would have loved to see that shit. Why not? Hell fuck yeah. Parody, not real, but parody. I would pay to see that. Hell yeah. Sign me up. Nickelodeon, you should start doing parodies, in my opinion, because it's fun to do. It is. That's just me. Sometimes you don't have to make a good script or anything like that. You can just have fun with it. You just don't insult people's intelligence. That's all. That's all people really ask at the end of the day. Don't insult their intelligence. Some people just want to have fun. You know. And that's at the end of the day what people really want. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, did you have fun watching it? I did. I wish it was this and that, but I had fun. That's really it. But overall, the movie. I thought this movie wasn't good, but wasn't bad either. Like, if they made a sequel, I would have been like, okay, you can fix some stuff. So, Grow Up Timmy Turner, in my opinion, is not all that bad. There are some moments when Drake Bell is looking at the godparents and he's not really looking at them. The godparents, them being CGI, to be honest, I don't mind it, but they should have just stuck with animation, in my opinion. And if you were gonna make them look like, hey, if they were there, then make them look like they were in movie quality. There was an episode of Fairy Godparents where Timmy Turner wished that he was in an action movie and they look really good. Why won't take notes of that? Just touch it up a little bit and make it look like they're there. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me as a fan. I would have done that. For kind of loud, if there was a blockbuster Timmy Turner, Fairy Godparents movie that had a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of budget and would go straight to theaters and a lot of people watched it, I guarantee you the Godparents would look great in CGI, to be honest. And the thing is, you won't even have to make them CGI if you don't really want to. You can make them as puppets if you wanted to. Jim Henson style. Imagine that. I wouldn't mind that either. Look, this is me fanboying. I love Fairy Godparents, man. I just want this. I just love this franchise, and I just want it to be right. It's one of those things that I can see. It, yeah, it has missteps that like we see, but you can still grab it and move on with it and make something good out of it. That's what I like about Fairy Godparents. You could put Timmy Turner and Wanda and Cosmo in any situation. To me, it reminds me like the Looney Tunes characters, in my opinion. When you have characters that are like that, they can live on forever. I'm sorry, they do, in my opinion. For crying out loud, what do you think Superman and Batman are around? That you could do so much with them. I'm not saying they can hang out with certain characters sometimes. For crying out loud, Batman's hanged out with Scooby Doo. Anything's possible at that point, man. So I know they're from the same company, but still, come on. It makes sense at the end of the day. But come on, still, anything's possible. For crying out loud, we got a movie with Bugs Bunny and Mickey in the same screen. Again, anything's possible, So, um, you know, for kind of, I will go to the movie soon. I just want to mention this. At one point, a lot of people thought a movie like Ready Player One wouldn't happen, but it did. It's funny too, because me and my friend, a long time ago, in 2005 or 6, I mentioned that. He's like, for that to happen, there will be so many people that would have to be on it, and then so many licenses. And I'm like, I know, but I want it to happen. And guess what? It happened. It happened. It became a book and a movie. Is it the true thing what we wanted? No, but it's something. And there's other movies that touch upon it, like Space Jam 2, if you saw the trailer. Kind of movies like that that always touch upon it, you know? That's just me as a fan. So going back to Timmy, go up Timmy Turner. Again, I thought it was fine. The highlight was Crocker. Oh my god. Whoever played Crocker in this live action Blame Timmy Turner movie, you were the highlight, young man. You were the highlight, dude. You were. You were the highlight. I couldn't like at the end of the movie. The only thing I could think of was like, could be better. Crocker was actually good. Yeah, you know. Surprisingly, the guy that played Crocker was really good. Yeah, they probably could have CGI his ear to his neck or something like that. But I don't give a fuck. That looks like Crocker. Now I can't see another actor play as Crocker except for him. The live action version, I mean. You know? Because when I look at him, I'm all like, that's Crocker. That's Crocker. I'm sorry, that's Crocker. You got him. You did it. You know? And then there were some scenes too, I'm remembering now, because I haven't watched the movie in years. There's just a refresher of what's coming to my head. I haven't watched the movie at all. But it is on YouTube from what I clicked, so it should be there. I think there's like a flashback when you see Timmy as a kid with the fairy godparents, and I'm just like, so you did got a kid for the flashback scenes, but you couldn't use that kid for the movie? No offense to Drake Bell, I don't hate Drake Bell, but you had a perfect opportunity right here. Poor kid. That's just me. But again, overall, I thought this movie was fine. Could have been worse. Fuck yeah, could have been a lot better. Yes, of course. I've seen a lot of better Nickelodeon movies. For crying out loud, Rugrats, anyone, you know. And what other movie? Like, what is it? The Canadian Cow movie? I love that movie. Who remembers that movie? Yo, if you remember that movie, that is how old you are, dude. That's how old you are. If you don't remember that, then you're too young. You too young to know that. Literally. If you don't know the Canadian Cow movie, you too young. Very young. Very young. Too young to know that shit, to be honest. To be like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like, no, you don't. Yeah, I don't know. You know? But moving on. I think it was the Christmas movie right after, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But next was the Christmas movie. I was not thinking they were going to do another one, to be quite honest. But the holiday season was coming, and then they were doing another one, and I'm just like, are you serious? Uh, I didn't really care for it. Like when I saw the trailer, I was like Christmassy and all that. You know, fine. I don't know. And then when I watched it, I was amazed about this movie. This is exactly what a fairy godparents movie is. I'm sorry. The live action fairy godparents Christmas movie with, Grow Up Timmy Turner Christmas movie is actually not bad. It reminds me so much of the cartoon. Santa Claus is there, Timmy fucks up, and now he has to be Santa. That shit is fucking hilarious, man. That's exactly what Timmy would have done. That's exactly what would have happened in Fairy Godparents. And I fucking love it. The whole concept of, the Grow Up Timmy Turner is that Timmy didn't grow up and he kept his godparents because he didn't want to lose them and shit. And when you look at that, it's like, I like it because I want Cosmo and Wanda and Timmy to be together forever. But at the same time, when you have movies like Channel Chasers, which I love, you kind of accept Timmy just growing the fuck up and leaving his fucking goddamn godparents. You know? And then when you see shit like this, you're like, do you even care? Does anyone care? That's the problem that I had with this movie. It's like you say that you did this, but now you want to take it back. Why? Because you want the show to last a little longer now. Nickelodeon at that time, I started noticing that they actually noticed that, hey, this can actually be something we can actually make like SpongeBob. No shit! But yet you try to cancel it multiple times. What's wrong with you? Oh, because it didn't have the sponge. Well, it didn't have the mouse. You're lucky that mouse doesn't own you. Oh my god. Because I guarantee you, none of our 90s shit will show up at all. We will probably never see those things ever again. Oh my god, just thinking about it makes me fucking sad. I'm just happy that Nickelodeon always had a relationship with Paramount. And that's the only thing I'm happy with right there. Because a lot of companies now are looking at Disney and they're like, don't work for them. I don't care if it's just a cup of coffee. Just don't do it. And I'm just like, ooh, don't do it. Square, I think you know. I think you know what you should do. Break it. I think it's about. I think it's time. Most people are like, really? And Kingdom Hearts? You know what? I know it makes money. I know they won't do it, but in another world, I will plug it. You know, just saying. Um, but again, the sequel, the Christmas sequel to Grow Up Timmy Turner was actually good. I liked everything, the whole concept with the elves and the fairies. I love that shit. Yo, I always loved that shit. That was a type of fucking dynamic that I always love. Yo, it gets me teary eyed and giggly because I love it. Just it's just so amazing. It's so awesome. Just to watch, it's just it made you think of the more of the lore between the elves and the godparents. I imagine they had like a war happening together. Literally, I'm tearing up right now because I thought that shit was fucking amazing. That's how much I love fairy godparents. All right, I fucking love this shit. A lot of people don't understand or overstand how these franchises are to some people, but I'll say this: you know how everyone always go crazy for Wizard of Oz and it should not be remake and they hold it to high regard? Well, there's people that do that for other franchises and people look at them like, oh, whatever. But I'm like, oh, but people do that to Wizard of Oz. Oh, kill them, crucify them, you know? That's just me. That's just me. And I would never talk shit about Wizard of Oz. That shit is, it's a, it's, I should do a movie review about it because and also one in the spiritual and enlightenment way too. Because oh my god, that movie. Oh, even as a kid, I knew what the fuck they were telling us there. I'm like, but Go Up Timmy Turner, the Christmas one, is fun, really everything you want, in my opinion, in a Fairy Godparents Christmas special. And I think there was a few soundtracks, I think. And from what I've heard, if there is a couple, it is a Christmas movie, so. And it wasn't really that bad, you know? And everything with Crocker, again, Crocker's here, and it's still good the way it was. I think there was even one scene that they eat the gingerbread man. And I'm just like, you just ate a fucking living being. What the fuck did I just saw? Yo, I'm telling you, this shit gets dark. From what I can remember from my back of the mind. Oh my goodness. And if I'm gone, please correct me if I'm gone. Okay, guys? Because that shit, when I saw that, I'm like, did I just saw that? Please tell me. Nickelodeon Green like this, right? Like, this is a fairy godparents, right? Yeah, we did saw, was it? We did saw with a strawberry shortcake parody eating her fucking Pop Tart dog. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, oh my god, even the dog is sad. Eat the Pop Tart dog. That China Chase fucking movie, man. Good fairy godparents animated movies, man. Really good ones. I would say this before I get to the other one. My least favorite one is the school one. People might hate me for that, but it is my least favorite one. I'd rather watch Jimmy Neutron Power Hour 3, and I barely even like that one. It's looking back now, it's not as bad as I thought it was because back then I thought that shit was crap. I literally thought it was shit, in my opinion, when I first saw it. But when I watched it multiple times, I'm like, you know what? It's not as bad as it was. I hold it so high regard because 2 was just so much fun, and I love 1. It's that's how I felt with Power Hour 3, in my opinion. But I go to accept it and careful and appreciate it what it is. So moving on. Watch this movie. And don't watch Grow Up Timmy Turner. Just skip that and watch this one. And also skip the other movies. Just watch this one. Because I didn't watch the other ones after this. Because I actually watched bits and pieces of the last one. Was it the summer one? Is it Summer Timmy Turner? You know what? Let me look this shit up right now. Because this shit is just, you know. Um, are they even going to show it here or no? They don't. I have to write this shit down. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Fairy Odd Summer. Okay, that should be probably the last one. Damn, 2014. Jesus fucking Christ. It just looking back at some of these movies, it's just like, damn, it's been that long already. I feel like just yesterday these movies just came out on Nickelodeon. And I feel like just yesterday I just saw the behind the scenes of Fairy Godparents with of Grow Up TV Toner, and that shit was 9 years ago. Well, at least with the video here. Damn. Moving on. I did not care or even watched for the summer one because I thought two were fine enough. And I knew they were going to screw up with the third one. And I saw bits and pieces of the third one, and I was just like, so that's so you're going to do that. Timmy becomes a fucking fairy godparent. You know, in a way, as a kid, when I was a kid, I thought about that. And I wouldn't fucking give a damn if they went through that route. I still don't give a damn if they went through that route. But at the same time, again, going back to what I said, every time you want to push to Timmy Turner to be like, yes, he's done. He doesn't have to rely on his fairies. You bring him back to rely on his fairies. Now he doesn't have to rely on his fairies anymore. He's became a fairy. Meaning, going back to what I said originally, relying on magic, basically. But that's fine. I'm not saying I hate magic or anything like that. Hey, I don't care. It's your ward, you know. It's fairy godparents. Use magic wherever you want to. But isn't there rules? Isn't there? We need an episode or a few that establish the rules of the fairy godparents universe. Like literally just break down the book, and that book is fucking huge. You know what? Just make a fucking side series about it. Might as well tell the history about it. Oh, that sounds boring. It sounds interesting to me. I don't give a fuck. Who knows? There probably was a fairy in Elf War that happened, and that book had to be made. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know how these things fucking work. Oh shit. Oh, you don't know either. Well, yeah, I know. That's why I want to know. So that's really it, to be honest. And what I'm really looking forward to in this new fairy godparents thing, look, people say they're gonna fuck it up. People already know they're not gonna like it, and that's fine. Me, I already know that's most likely going to be the case for me too. That most likely it's not going to be good. But if anyone that's making it is watching this, I want to say this: there's a reason when live fairy godparents, and there was some people saying that, but Churchman is attached to this, and he might mess this up mainly because everything that he was trying to do other things, people have shit on him for it because he was doing greedy shit and calling him out for it, and now he's probably gonna go here and be like, oh, now I'm gonna fuck this up here, which really he's not really fucking up because he's not really going back and fucking the originals anyways. He's not quote unquote George Lucas in it, but even if he was, that still wouldn't matter. People have the original DVDs and shit, or you could just buy it online, you know. It's the same thing with anything. Yes, with the movie, same thing with Final Fantasy VII remake, or I mean the original Final Fantasy, you know, and then Final Fantasy VII remake. But still, it just depends on the situation. You know, did people even ask for Fairy Godparents live action? I don't think no one did. You know, maybe we thought about it, but did we actually sign petitions? You know, I don't know. That is just me. That's just me. So, oh, the one thing too I want to mention, going back to Grow Up Timmy Turner, you have Tootie and you have Vicky in this movie, and you don't do nothing with them. Oh, you fucking. When I saw that, I wanted to scream so hard. I was on vacation in Indiana, and I was in my uncle's house, and I was just watching that shit while there was a birthday going outside, and I was just watching this shit. I was all alone in the living room watching this movie. And I'm just I was like, I'm enjoying it for what it is. There's some parts I'm just like, God damn, what's wrong with you people? But for kind of like the part with Chester and AJ, I like that. I like those parts. Like when Chester is like touching his hands and then automatically he like goes down and gets a key there and shit because he works there. Stuff like that, I love. It's stupid, yes. You could say, "Oh, that's stupid moment. I hate it," but I love it. It shows that there was someone in the back that actually understand about fairy godparents and wanted something like that. And most people were like, "Oh, it's Butch Hartman." Probably it was, but probably it was somebody else that actually loved the humor of the old type fairy godparents. And then when that didn't happen, it's like, what the fuck? For crying out loud, when when Timmy first saw his godparents, he's like, "I'm gonna call the cops," and rightfully so. I would too. I'm calling the police. And then Wanda's like, "Hold on, kid, you can't tell no one about us." It's like, Mom, I need an adult. You know? Oh shit. When you really think about it, it's just hilarious sometimes, man. When you just think about it, oh, this is why I love this series. You could just do anything with these characters. You can parry them if you want to. You can put them in different situations. You know, and again, some people say they don't want like a live action fairy godparents in a way because people are gonna be like, "Wow, the parents really don't give a fuck about this child," and it's like, and the thing is, it's not like Timmy's parents don't care about him. It's just they always wanted a girl. Most people are like, damn, damn. Other people are going to be like, you're a fucking asshole. And I'm like, well, it's been established in the show. What do you want me to tell you? They love him and everything like that, yeah. But deep down, you know they will love him more if he was probably just a girl. Yeah. I don't want to get into that shit, but you know, most people be like, "You already have. Now we're going to debate." Well, I'm sorry. So starting a fire that doesn't really need to have a fire. It's just my opinion. So that was that. If anyone's gonna ask me, what I would do for the Fairy Godparents live action? What would I would do? To be honest, I know I say you could do anything with them and everything like that. But to be honest, just stop it. And maybe one day Nickelodeon can dust the series out and actually make a movie. Maybe not a live action movie, but an animated one. Maybe a 3D animated one. I wouldn't mind. Where could they do it though? Would they do it? It's Nickelodeon we're talking about here. Business, you know. But that's what I would do. I would dormant the series for at least probably 5 years or 3 years. And if you're desperate, fine, a year just to see how everyone is. But this shit's gonna take time if we're actually bringing back the series as a movie and introducing shit. You know? But that's just me. I would have made a movie. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. To be quite honest. Some people say just end it. I say the same thing. Just end it. Again, like I said, maybe they could just dormant the series and then maybe bring it back as a movie. And then what could they do as it for it as a movie? To be honest, just make a movie at when again we kind of I don't know, guys. I just don't know. I'm stumped with this one. Actually, I really don't know what I would do with this TV. What I would do with the series since Nickelodeon's making it. To be honest, if they didn't do what they have been doing with Fairy Godparents, despite what the movies I've been talking about here, the episodes and adding new characters, to be quite honest, this might be a controversial or something like that, but I don't mind Poof. I'm sorry to tell you. Poof should have been the last thing, but since we got the other two characters, it's that's why I really don't like about shit like that. You have something that's fine, doesn't really change all that much, and then you get two more characters, and then automatically you shit on the character that came because that was a character that started to bring other characters in. And I'm just like, just because that character did it doesn't mean that character is automatically just terrible and bad. But apparently it is. Apparently it is. I always had a problem with that. I don't know what's wrong with people. Oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, lay off, basically. Like, I understand, like, the other two are shit, but you're talking shit about a character that's literally a baby. It's almost like in I don't know. I was going to make a Ed and Eddie reference based not reference, but like I was going to say like it's almost like when Eddie. It's almost like when Eddie mentioned that he has a brother, and people were like he has a brother, and all of a sudden, it shows his brother, but it's just like, oh, why? It's just like, who cares, man? He did mention he has a brother in one episode, which is kind of funny. It's like we don't see none of these characters as other siblings or parents or none of that, but they're there. They're there in the background. Yo, man. Hilarious. But that's it. That's all I want to say. I didn't want to keep going or anything like that. I was. But as much as I do want to keep going, it has to end here. What do you guys think about my thoughts on some of the Fairy Godparent stuff? And yeah, I'm not going to watch Fairy Summer. I'm just not. The highlight of these two movies is the guy that's playing Crocker because he's actually really good. And the whole thing that they could have done with Vicky and Tootie again, what a missed opportunity, the biggest missed opportunity that you ever have. And people have pointed out at the Fairy Odd Summer when Timmy turns into a fairy. Tootie is just like, oh, I gotta get used to this now, and people are just like, so she's dating a 10-year-old now because Timmy was an adult in a way. Now he's back to 10 years old, and he doesn't have the buck teeth. Even I looked at that and I was just like, Timmy, without the buck teeth. Ah! It looks fucking weird. It looks fucking weird. And the thing is, too, a lot of people say, how come he doesn't have the buck teeth in the live action? I don't care. For kind of loud, if you're going to do that, might as well have the characters do this all the time. Just have the hat like that. Or just have the character always show its like teeth a lot, like every time they laugh, kind of like I do. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. But I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think. If you hated these movies, that is fine. I don't blame you whatsoever. And I will kind of be like, oh, the Christmas one is not bad actually, and surprisingly, they did fine with it. Maybe it's because it's the Christmas cusp, meaning that it's actually good because it's actually a Christmas movie. Not to say there's not Christmas movies that are bad. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action movie, there was that. Yeah, shoot me. I love the animated one. Way better. No, not the CGI version. Are you crazy? The Chuck Jones one, bitch. That's the one I like. All right, that Looney Tunes fucking art design and everything like that. The Tom and Jerry art design. Hell yeah, you could tell that shit was Tom and Jerry inspired design too, man. Every time I see that animation, man. Oh, that deserves a fucking. That should, in my opinion, that should be played every year, except for that live action fucking Grinch all the time. That's just me, man. That's another story for another day. But I'll see you guys later.